The town of Briar Ridge was barely a dot on the map, hidden between rust-colored cliffs and endless desert. It sat at the edge of a forgotten reservation, land that once belonged to the Dine, the Navajo, until it was carved apart by treaties and time. But there were places even the locals didn't touch, and Whispering Hollow was one of them. Tourists heard the name and scoffed. Locals just changed the subject. Only one old man, Thomas Begay, ever spoke of it, usually after 2 bourbons and when the air got heavy, like it was waiting for something. They say the hollow ain't just haunted, it's thin. It's where the world and the one beneath it come too close. Jackson was exactly the kind of man who ignored warnings. A skeptic with a camera, more interested in drama than truth. He came to Briar Ridge in October, right when the wind shifted and the nights got longer. He brought 2 friends, Maria, his producer, and Eli, their sound guy. Together, they planned to film an episode of their streaming series, Spectral America, inside Whispering Hollow. Even though the locals refused to guide them, they managed to find the hollow by using drone footage and, a topo map. It was this gorge, carved right between 2 canyon walls, and it was just filled with aspen trees. Trees that really shouldn't be growing out there in the desert. Birds, well, they avoided it. And so did coyotes. They set up camp near the entrance and got their first shots on film before dusk settled in. As the sun, kind of bled across the cliffs, Eli noticed the first sign. Hey, Jackson, is this writing? Not Hopi, not Zuni. Wait, this is Dini. What's it mean? It's not in the books, but the symbol's similar to ones near Skinwalker Legends. The spiral usually means travel or movement. The slash might mean crossing or tearing. They all fell quiet. That night, the wind came from inside the hollow. Eli swore he heard whispers in a language he didn't recognize. Maria's phone glitched, showing static and a strange face, just for a second when she opened her camera roll. At midnight, Jackson couldn't sleep. He wandered near the hollow's edge, camera in hand. That's when he saw it. A figure, hunched and tall, walking between the trees. Way too thin, way too fast, its limbs bent in ways they just shouldn't. Its head turned without a body turning, eyes like burning coals. It looked at him, through him, and it grinned. He ran, but in the footage the next morning, there was nothing there. By the second day, the team felt different. Not just uneasy, sick. Maria vomited twice before breakfast. Eli's hands wouldn't stop trembling. Jackson kept hearing a low drumming, though no one else did. Still, they pressed on. Deeper into the hollow, they found more glyphs, human shapes with twisted limbs, one with a missing face, another with its hand reaching through a hole, like a rip in space. Then they found the altar. It sat on a stone outcropping, surrounded by 4 blackened posts. Animal bones littered the area. Feathers, hawk, crow, maybe owl were tied with sinew. In the center, a flat slab of red stone. Maria stepped toward it. But she already had. The wind died. The birds, what few there were, went silent. The shadows stretched unnaturally long, curling like fingers. And then from somewhere deep in the trees came a voice, low, rhythmic, chanting in Navajo, but none of them spoke the language. Maria screamed and dropped her phone. On the screen, a face looked back at them. Not hers, not anyone's. Its skin peeled in ribbons, its eyes black. It mouthed words they couldn't hear. The trees shifted. And something stepped from the gap between 2 trunks. They ran. Night came faster than it should have. They lost the path. The air was thick, and honestly, every breath was harder. Eli collapsed, screaming that something was inside his head. Maria vanished behind a tree and, didn't answer when they called. Jackson stumbled through brambles and roots until he found the camp, but, the tents were gone. The fire pit was filled with black water. And in the dirt, a symbol drawn in ash, the spiral, cut in half. He didn't sleep. At dawn, he found Eli, or, well, what was left of him. His eyes were gone, mouth stretched in a smile, fingers curled like claws. On his chest, the same spiral symbol was burned into his flesh. Jackson fled the hollow. 2 days later, he stumbled into Briar Ridge, dehydrated and bloody, carrying only his shattered camera. They found no bodies, no gear, no evidence. He told his story. They laughed until Thomas Begay saw the raw footage pulled from the corrupted memory card. Spirit of death, a corrupted one, something that used to be human, something that knew ancient paths between worlds. Jackson tried to leave Briar Ridge, but his car never started again. Sometimes, locals see him wandering at dusk, staring into the trees, listening. Because the hollow doesn't let go, not when the seal is broken, and someone must take its place.